Every single day, your body is fighting a battle you can't see. A battle triggered by deadlines, difficult conversations, traffic jams, and endless notifications. It's called stress. And while you might think it's all in your head, what's actually happening inside your body is far more complex and fascinating than you ever imagined. Your mind doesn't just react to stress. It orchestrates an entire symphony of biological responses that can either protect you or slowly wear you down. When something stressful happens, your brain doesn't waste time overthinking it. Within milliseconds, a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala detects the threat and sounds the alarm. This ancient part of your brain can't tell the difference between a charging lion and an angry email from your boss. To your amygdala, danger is danger, and it immediately kicks your body into survival mode. This triggers a cascade of events that floods your system with stress hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline. Adrenaline hits first, and it hits hard. Your heart starts racing, pumping blood faster to your muscles. Your breathing quickens, pulling in more oxygen. Your pupils dilate to sharpen your vision. Blood rushes away from your digestive system and into your limbs, preparing you to either fight or run. This is the famous fight or flight response, and it's been keeping humans alive for hundreds of thousands of years. In moments of real danger, this response is incredibly useful. The problem is that modern stress rarely requires you to fight or flee, yet your body responds as if it does. Cortisol arrives next, and unlike adrenaline's quick burst, cortisol sticks around. It's designed to keep you alert and energized during prolonged threats. It releases glucose into your bloodstream for quick energy and suppresses functions that aren't immediately necessary, like digestion and immune response. In short bursts, this is helpful, but when stress becomes chronic, when cortisol levels stay elevated day after day, the damage begins to accumulate. Your immune system weakens, making you more susceptible to illness. Your blood pressure remains high, putting strain on your heart. Your sleep quality deteriorates because your body can't fully relax. Even your memory and concentration suffer, as chronic cortisol actually shrinks the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for learning and memory. But here's what makes stress even trickier. Your mind doesn't just react to real threats. It reacts to perceived threats, imagined threats, and even memories of past threats. This means you can trigger a full stress response just by thinking about a stressful situation, replaying an argument in your head, or worrying about something that might never happen. Your brain treats these mental scenarios as real, flooding your body with the same hormones it would release during an actual crisis. This is why anxiety and chronic worry can be just as physically damaging as real stresses. The prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of your brain, is supposed to help you assess whether something is truly dangerous. It's the voice of reason that can calm down the amygdala's alarm system. But here's the catch. Chronic stress actually impairs the prefrontal cortex's ability to function properly. The more stressed you are, the harder it becomes to think clearly, make good decisions, or regulate your emotions. This creates a vicious cycle, where stress makes you less equipped to handle stress, which then creates even more stress. Your body also develops what researchers call allostatic load. This is essentially the wear and tear that accumulates from constantly adapting to stress. Every time your body activates the stress response and then has to return to normal, it uses resources and causes microscopic damage. When this happens repeatedly, without adequate recovery, systems start breaking down. Blood vessels become less flexible, inflammation increases throughout the body, and cellular aging accelerates. Scientists have even found that chronic stress shortens telomeres, the protective caps on your chromosomes that are linked to longevity. Different people react to stress in remarkably different ways, and this isn't just about personality. Your stress response is shaped by genetics, childhood experiences, current life circumstances, and even your gut microbiome. Some people have naturally higher cortisol reactivity, meaning their bodies produce more stress hormones in response to the same situation. Others have experienced trauma that has sensitized their nervous systems, making them more reactive to perceived threats. Understanding your own stress patterns is the first step toward managing them effectively. So how do you take control? The good news is that while you can't always control what happens to you, you can absolutely change how your mind and body respond to stress. The key is working with your biology, not against it. Physical movement is one of the most powerful stress management tools available. Remember all that adrenaline and cortisol flooding your system? Exercise metabolizes these hormones, essentially completing the stress cycle that your body initiated. A brisk walk, a workout, even dancing in your living room signals to your body that you've escaped the threat and can now return to baseline. Regular exercise also increases production of endorphins and other neurochemicals that naturally counteract stress. Breathing techniques might sound too simple to be effective, but they directly influence your autonomic nervous system. Slow, deep breathing, especially when you extend your exhale longer than your inhale, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural calming mechanism. This sends a signal to your brain that you're safe, which then reduces the production of stress hormones. Just a few minutes of intentional breathing can measurably lower your heart rate and blood pressure. Sleep is non-negotiable when it comes to stress management. During deep sleep, your brain processes emotional experiences, and your body repairs the damage caused by daily stress. When you're sleep-deprived, your amygdala becomes hyperactive, responding up to 60% more intensely to negative stimuli. Meanwhile, the connection between your amygdala and prefrontal cortex weakens, making it even harder to regulate your emotions. Protecting your sleep means protecting your ability to handle stress. Social connection acts as a buffer against stress, in ways that scientists are still working to fully understand. When you connect with others, your body releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, which directly counteracts cortisol. Even brief positive interactions can shift your nervous system out of threat mode. This doesn't mean you need to talk about your problems. Just being around people you trust and feel comfortable with provides biological stress relief. Mindfulness and meditation practices train your brain to respond differently to stress over time. Regular meditation actually increases gray matter in the prefrontal cortex while decreasing the size and reactivity of the amygdala. This means you develop a stronger ability to regulate emotions and a less reactive threat detection system. You're essentially rewiring the very circuits that determine how you experience stress. Cognitive reframing is another powerful tool. This means consciously changing how you interpret situations. Research shows that people who view stress as a challenge rather than a threat have different physiological responses. Their blood vessels stay more relaxed, and their bodies produce a different profile of hormones that are less damaging over time. This doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means recognizing that you have more resources to cope than your initial panic response might suggest. Setting boundaries is a practical form of stress management that many people overlook. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're adding to your allostatic load. Every time you allow your boundaries to be violated without consequence, you're teaching your nervous system that you're not in control, which increases baseline stress levels. Learning to protect your time, energy, and peace isn't selfish. It's essential maintenance for your stress response system. The foods you eat also influence your stress response. Ultra-processed foods and excess sugar can increase inflammation and disrupt the gut-brain axis, potentially making you more reactive to stress. Meanwhile, foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and B vitamins support healthy nervous system function. Your gut produces much of your body's serotonin, so taking care of your digestive health directly impacts your mood and stress resilience. Perhaps most importantly, taking control of stress means accepting that you can't eliminate it entirely. Stress is a normal part of being human, and trying to avoid it completely would mean avoiding growth, challenges, and meaningful experiences. The goal isn't to live a stress-free life. It's to develop a flexible, resilient stress response system that can handle challenges without breaking down. Your mind's reaction to stress is an intricate dance between ancient survival mechanisms and modern challenges they were never designed to handle. But understanding this dance gives you power. Every breath you take, every boundary you set, every moment you move your body or connect with others, you're actively shaping how your nervous system responds to the world. You're not helpless in the face of stress. You're equipped with tools that can transform your relationship with it. one intentional choice at a time.